I went to the cinema on Friday and saw Poor Things, the new film from director Yorgos Lanthimos, based on the novel by Alasdair Gray and adapted by Tony McNamara. It's a fantastical, fantasia-like story, reversing the story of Frankenstein somewhat, about a scientist who finds a woman washed up dead in the river, and because she's pregnant, replaces her brain with that of her infant, and then starts raising her in the house with her having an adult body but the understanding of the world of a child. She gradually matures and he takes in a new assistant to help care for her as she begins to develop. And soon she's going out into the world having made a connection with a somewhat ruthless and dastardly lawyer, having the, as I say, the emotional maturity of an adult but the understanding of the world of a child. It's a very fantastical story, as I say. Yorgos Lanthimos has an interest in societies that act as captive or captor, rather, full of bizarre, mysterious, and unfathomable rules. We saw this in uh, The Favourite, the story of the centre of the royal seat, and in Dogtooth, about a family kept prisoner in its own home by the patriarch who tells lies about the outside world. This is very much a more fantastical story. As I say, it's a version of Frankenstein in a way, with Bella not not fully comprehending the world, but discovering it, and discovering the things about it that she loves and enjoys. She discovers sex rather quickly and very much likes it, but her new lover's exploitative attitude soon incurs her wrath, and when she discovers that poverty exists, she gives away all his money and drives him into madness almost immediately. It's a gorgeous film. The production and costume design is incredible throughout, and you get the sense that it's all being perceived from the point of view of Bella, who has, in many ways, the mind of a toddler, albeit an unusually articulate one. But even as she settles down and becomes more educated in her outlook towards the world, it still looks crazy. Um, and it's absolutely ravishing. The script is generally very funny. It's very dark in tone. It's certainly not for everyone. It's rated 18 because of how much sex there is in it. A lot. But it never feels titillating or salacious because it has this odd undertone to it. Um, but the real star is, of course, Emma Stone as Bella, who is phenomenal. It's a bizarre character to play, effectively at the start playing a baby in the body of an adult and gradually maturing over the course of the movie, but still having this strange outlook and strange way of moving and speaking, that slowly settles down over the course of the film. It's a very gradiated development. Um, but it's really a fantastically finely calibrated performance. Very, very funny, very carefully attuned to the story as Bella, as I said, discovers poverty, socialism, feminism, and develops herself as a human being, whilst angering those who would wish to control her and earning the love and respect of her adoptive father's assistant. The adoptive father himself being played by Willem Dafoe, who looks like Frankenstein's creature. There's a whole backstory there about how his father was a scientist who experimented on him when he was a baby, leading to him being severely disfigured. Um, Defoe has a Scottish accent in the character, and that seems to be the last remaining vestige of the book's original setting in Victorian Glasgow. Apparently, the book is very much rooted in its setting, in its environment, as a um, psychogeographic concept rather than simply being a location. The film does away with that entirely. The British setting is London, it then moves to Lisbon, Egypt, Italy, and France, all portrayed in this incredibly beautiful, bizarre style where we have sunsets in the far distance, and through the clouds we see swirling nebulae. Um, I enjoyed it very much. It's a thinker of a film. I was considering doing review when I got home from the cinema. That was 2 days ago, and I thought I'll leave it a bit because it's something that needs time to percolate. I think it's very enjoyable in the moment, but it's something that sticks with you. Um, it's very well written. It's beautifully directed. It's brilliantly acted. The rest of the supporting cast is extremely strong. Ramy Youssef, Mark Ruffalo. I was surprised to see Vicky Pepperdine, a stalwart of Radio 4 comedy of the 90s and early 2000s, as the housekeeper, but was very enjoyable. But it's really Emma Stone's show, and it's hard to see how this won't get her a second Oscar. I haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon yet, with Lily Gladstone heavily tipped for that film, but she's going to have to be very good to beat what is, for my money, the performance of the year.